Is it time for you to move from your city and government overreaching state to the country in a much freer state?
Live happy, fun-loving, and carefree.
3 states that people are moving from and 2 states that people are moving to. They're voting with their feet. Should you be doing that? Where are we talking about? Where are you moving from? And where should you move to? How can you move from where you are halfway across the country or even more to another state? We're going to talk about that, but very first thing, I want to be crystal clear between me and you that this has nothing to do with politics. You know, it's not Republican versus Democrat, liberal versus conservative, red versus blue, progressive versus regressive, whatever funky label that is the flavor of the moment. That's not what we're talking about. We're simply talking about, you know, what we're doing to be happy, fun-loving, and carefree, and what you can do to live the life that you want to live, however happy, fun-loving, and carefree means to you. And that's the whole voting with your feet, moving, you know, from one place to another. Because, you know, the 3 states that I'm thinking of that have a declining, you know, people are leaving the states faster than people are moving in, and births and that, is, you know, you and I aren't going to change that system overnight. So unfortunately, the only thing that we can do if we're sick and tired of this overreach in government is to go someplace that they're not. And that just, you know, that's just what we have to do. That's just the way that it is. And so my goal is to help you decide if you're in a state that you don't want to be in, and how can you move to the state that you should be in. Make sense? Let me know. This is about your freedom. So the 3 states, it's really cold out here today. Whew. The 3 states that people are moving from are New York State, the Illinois, and California. I mean, people are exiting these states in basically record numbers. And the states that they're moving to, the 2 most, and this is even in like U-Haul data, when you look at that, is they're moving to Texas and to Florida. And it's just because people want freedom. You know, there's another state that I honestly hadn't planned on talking about, but I was chatting about it online and social media this morning, but is Michigan is the same thing. That they're just like out of control with all of their mandates. And it's like, you know, wear masks, don't wear masks, restaurants closed, restaurants open. You can't go to the gym, you know, you can go to the gym. Kids, schooling is a huge issue. Now, thankfully, all of our children are grown up. We do have some grandkids, but they're still preschool age, so this isn't affecting us personally. But school, this whole school closure, the unions have a lock on the teachers and the parents, and they say that they have remote learning, but they're not really doing remote learning. It's basically just you leave your kids at home and you keep paying us our salary, and we'll go through the motions of, you know, doing online classes. But the kids are really losing out, and parents are sick and tired of that. So that's, you know, one of the reasons they're moving to a state where the schools are open. And, you know, early on in all of this mess, it was follow the science, but they're not doing that anymore. It's just purely overreach, authoritarian control. And if you want to be happy, you've got to live in the way that seems fit to you. So, you know, we're out here in the country on our homestead. Sadly, prices are kind of crazy right now, so that is going to be one challenge for you when you move from one place to another. But you've just got to decide, can you keep putting up with the way things are where you live, or should you pack up and move to a state like Texas or a state like Florida, where you have the freedom to make the choice what's right for you and what's right for your family? One of the great things that we have an advantage of today is, what I like to think of it is, when all the non-essential workers were kicked out of the workforce, we all grow up in our reality. You know, we have our parents and we're kids and we go to school and we see our parents going to work and whatever that may mean. And we just grow up and we sort of fall into that same lifestyle after we get out of school, high school, college, whatever. And we get caught up in that rat race of making money, spending money, making money, spending money, you know, moving up apartments, small houses, bigger houses, you know, a little car, a nicer car, whatever it is. We end up in that rat race. And that's like normal life to you and to me, kind of thing. And then when this old mess started and they kicked everybody out of the workforce, people were like, you know, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive with no job? Well, after 18 months of having no job, a lot of people have realized, when they were thrown out of the hamster wheel rat race, hey, I don't want to get back in there. I can have an Etsy store, I can have an eBay store, I can do whatever. You know, maybe if you're a couple and one person has a decent job, the other person realizes that, you know, hey, I can stay home, or we can just have part-time jobs. We don't need that fancy car that we thought we need. We can have an older car with no payment, and we can live in a smaller house instead of having a McMansion with a huge mortgage on it, or a smaller apartment with less rent, whatever it is. That, you know, by the time you buy the car and buy the clothes and put your kids in daycare and drive to work and all those headaches of being in the rat race, that it's a lot nicer to just slow down and stay home, be here on the homestead, and have a garden and your chickens and things out in the country. So a lot of people are saying, to heck with this city life and this oppressive government control. New York, Illinois, California, Michigan especially, their governor's crazy up there, is move to a state like Texas and Florida, and there's, you know, a couple other ones that allow you to make your own choices for what you want to do. Stay warm, making sense, and by all means, you know, let me know what you think of these videos, because I'm trying to help you be happy, fun-loving, and carefree.